Me and my husband don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but it's not because we don't love each other. He tells me he loves me every day and we don't need just one day of the year to celebrate. But it's hard not to fall into the excitement of Valentine's Day. I mean, who doesn't love love? And I've always wanted to buy one of those chocolate heart boxes, but I just know I'll be disappointed from the store-bought ones. And the good ones are really expensive. So I've decided to create my own chocolate heart box. But since he doesn't love Valentine's Day, I'm going to make it an anti-Valentine's heart box. But how do I make it anti-Valentine's? I could make it completely empty, but that would be too sad and boring. I could fill it with those mean candy hearts, but that would be unoriginal. What is something gross and creepy that you do not want to see on your food, especially on Valentine's Day? Bugs. So I'm going to make chocolate bonbons that look like bugs to go inside my chocolate heart box. And I'll give it to my husband on Valentine's Day and tell him I caught the love bug for him. He'll never see it coming. I don't have a lot of experience working with chocolate, but I'm hoping I can use this box as my actual mold to pour the chocolate into. I'm gonna need to test this out first. I'm tempering my chocolate by melting it to 113 degrees. Then I add in some already tempered chocolate and mix until it reaches 89 degrees and is fully melted. Now my chocolate is tempered, my arms are tired because it takes like 20 minutes. Once it sets in the heart box, I start to remove it and I see it cracking. It is releasing, but not perfectly. Unfortunately, the heart box is not going to work as my mold. The chocolate did pop out of the box, but because it's porous, it stuck too much and it was cracking. It's annoying because it would have worked so well. Look at that straight edge corner, so perfect. But I do have a backup plan. It's just a little bit more time consuming. And the good news is I'm getting a really good temper. Let's hear that snap. For my backup plan, which was actually my original plan, I'm going to have to build the box in two separate parts, the bottom and the sides, and attach it together. To pour my chocolate, I'm creating a border with these silicone strips that will make sure it's an even thickness. Time for another workout to temper my chocolate, and then I get to pour. It is so satisfying spreading the chocolate super thin. I quickly trace out my hearts with a needle, working so fast before the chocolate sets too firm, and after about 20 minutes, the chocolate releases so easily from the plastic sheet. This is only my second time ever pouring chocolate slabs, so I'm really happy it's working out. Now for the even scarier part, I'm making super thin strips for the sides of the heart box. I have to find the perfect moment when the chocolate is slightly setting, but is still soft enough to bend so I can wrap it around the hearts. I glue the seams with chocolate, and once it sets, I remove the plastic, and it's looking pretty good. I still have to make the other side to complete the heart. I am rushing, but crossing my fingers the entire time this works because I don't have another backup plan. Am I becoming a chocolatier? I cannot believe I did this. I am so proud of myself at this moment. And the cover actually fits. The chocolate is so in temper. Like, can you see how shiny this is? It does need a bit of cleaning up on the top. I'll figure out how to do that. I'm gonna put this down so I don't break it and ruin this whole thing. I'm gonna come back to the heart box later. It's time to sculpt some bugs. I'm sketching out the bugs first, making sure they all fit together in the box. Now I'm going in and adding all of the detail. Of course, I need to include some disgusting bugs like a cockroach, a caterpillar. Grasshopper can go either way, but I want some pretty ones. I'm adding a butterfly and a ladybug. I know my husband Gil will love that. I'm using modeling chocolate to sculpt the bugs because it's really easy to manipulate and add texture to. I love how the bugs are looking, although they do look a bit cute right now. I'm hoping once I paint them, they'll look a little bit more gross, but I do want them to still be appetizing enough that he'll eat them. Now I need to make a mold of the bugs so I have something to pour the chocolate into. Mold material is expensive, so I'm trying to save as much space as possible. Using rice, I can measure out how much mold material I'll need so I won't waste any. I really hope the hot glue will hold the chocolate bugs in place when I pour the mold material on top. I also don't know how the silicone is going to react with the chocolate. Hopefully it won't stick. I know it doesn't produce heat, so it won't melt it. I'm pouring very slowly to make sure nothing floats up. I left the mold to set overnight, and I'm so happy to see none of the bugs floated to the top. I am very excited to open up this mold and see what's inside. I can already tell I'll need to clean the edges, but the chocolate is releasing. Overall, I'm happy with the mold. I knew it was a risk. I didn't know how the mold material was going to react with the modeling chocolate. The only downside is that I did get a lot of air bubbles wherever the mold material was touching the modeling chocolate. Maybe I should have sealed the chocolate with a glaze before pouring the mold material over it. It might have just been too porous. It captured all of the detail, which is the most important part, and it's time to make the bonbon fillings. I've chosen flavors that I know Gil will love, and they also resemble the inside of a bug when they're being squished. I'm doing dulce de leche with candied hazelnut, which is kind of like the guts of a cockroach. I toasted the hazelnuts first, and I'm using store-bought dulce de leche because it tastes so good. I'm doing strawberry cheesecakes. We've got red in there, blood, guts. Once the strawberries become super soft, I put them in a blender and turn it into jam. I'm heating cream cheese and heavy cream for the cheesecake filling, then I add it to white chocolate and mix it until it melts, and top it off with a little vanilla. And of course we need a graham cracker crust. I'm toasting the graham crackers in the oven until they become golden brown. Be careful, they burn quick. And a Dubai chocolate filling, which will be green, so that's also like the guts of a bug. I have been taste testing this entire time, and I can confirm that all of the fillings are absolutely delicious. Behind me, I have a dehydrator that I bought specifically for this, and what's cool about it is I can set the temperature to whatever I need, so I'm hoping once the chocolate's tempered, I can leave it in here and it'll keep temper at 90 degrees. Because it takes so much time to keep retempering the chocolate, this can really help me out. It probably would have been nice if I had this earlier, if it works. My arms better be looking good after all of the tempering I've done this week. I'm filling the entire mold with chocolate, and then I quickly put the chocolate back in the dehydrator to hopefully stay in temper. I turn the mold over to pour out all of the excess chocolate. This should leave me with a thin lining of chocolate and lots of space to add my fillings. I'm working so fast before the chocolate sets. I have never done anything like this before. I've never made chocolate bonbons, so I'm pretty happy with how the process is going. I'm adding a lot of filling, but making sure to leave a little gap on top to fill with chocolate. And I love how the fillings look so delicious, but then when you think of them as bug guts, it totally looks like it. They will be gooey and crunchy when he bites in. Good news, the dehydrator does work and will keep the chocolate at temper, but bad news, I thought the temperature wasn't accurate, so I had it at 95 degrees instead of 90, and it brought my chocolate to 92 degrees, which is out of temper. So I need to retemper it, and now I know it's actually very accurate, and I should just keep it at 90 degrees. I'm adding my final layer of chocolate, and as I scrape it away, I'm starting to see I added too much filling. It's coming up into the chocolate on top, so I have to add an even thicker layer of chocolate and then dig out the bugs so I can get them out later. It's kind of a mess, but hopefully it'll work. I'm so excited to take the chocolate out of the molds, and a lot of them are cracking. This sucks. I think I made too thin of a layer of chocolate, and there's too many ridges and ups and downs, and as I'm moving the mold around, it's just causing a lot of cracks. I really didn't need this right now. But I can't give up. I am so many hours into this project. The pieces are cracking big enough that I think I can glue them back together with chocolate afterwards, except for the bee. The bee is done. The wings are too thin, they're breaking off, the center cracked. I can't fix it. I don't want to risk filling the bee again and then it just breaking because it's so thin and delicate, so I'm just gonna leave it as solid chocolate. I have enough bonbons for him to eat. I'm piping a thin layer of chocolate in between all the cracks, and I'm using freeze spray to set it quickly. It's getting a bit messy, but luckily I have some good carving tools to clean all the bugs up. It's taking me some time, but it's faster than remaking all the bugs, and it's making me think I can also do the same to clean up the heart, and now the seams look nice and smooth. I am so happy I was able to save most of the bugs, and they look pretty good. This was a day. I was ready to cry when the bugs were breaking. I'm just hoping the bee pops out of the mold nicely in the morning. No bug is being left behind. I'm being super gentle, and luckily the bee pops out perfectly. It just needs a little cleanup. Now we can't forget this is a Valentine's Day gift, so of course I have to make a bow to go on top of the chocolate heart box. I'm painting edible fabric with a shimmery pink. Everything is linked in my Amazon shop. I fold the strip in half and pinch it together in the center, making sure to pleat it, and it looks just like a real bow. This edible fabric is so flexible, I can manipulate it just like I would with real fabric. It's Valentine's Day today, so I have just a few hours to paint the bugs and the box, add the bow, and give it to my husband. This is classic me, so last minute, and I'm doing something I've never attempted before, which is airbrushing cocoa butter on chocolate, so I'm just hoping this all goes smoothly or I'm screwed. But I do work well under pressure, that's why I'm really good on cake shows. I have the cocoa butter colors heating in my dehydrator, so they'll be melted and hopefully at temper. So clock's ticking, let's go. I bought a new airbrush and compressor just for spraying cocoa butter because it's so thick I can't use my smaller airbrush, so I'm figuring out how to use it as I go. Working with chocolate is a skill I really want to learn, so I'm so glad I'm trying this all out. Of course, when I pick up the heart to spray it, I broke it, but luckily it was pretty easy to patch back together. As I'm spraying the cocoa butter, I'm amazed at how well it's working. I'm so glad I placed the spray gun in the dehydrator to keep it warm before airbrushing so the cocoa butter isn't clogging. But for the red, I'm using my heat gun just to gently keep it warm and get an even spray. Using a spray booth is very important when working with cocoa butter, otherwise the overspray will land all over your room and it's so hard to clean. It was a bit hectic, but I'm so impressed with how well the airbrushing worked, and my spray booth really did prevent most of the cocoa butter from going all over my room. But I definitely think I'd buy one with a proper air filter in the future because it got a bit messy. I'm using a heating pad to keep my cocoa butters warm while I paint, and I'm having so much fun bringing my bugs to life. In some areas, I'm letting the chocolate underneath show through to help with shading, but when I want a vibrant color like this red, I paint a layer of white first, so that way the red will really pop on top. Painting with cocoa butter is very similar to working with acrylic paints. It dries really fast. so it's really easy to layer different colors on top of one another. I do work really fast to blend the colors before they set, but unlike acrylic paint, I can always warm my paintbrush up and then go back in and blend the colors some more. So there is flexibility. The bugs are looking even better than I planned, but they're a little too beautiful. I hope he still thinks they're gross. The edible fabric looks just like a real strip of ribbon. I'm attaching it with just a little bit of piping gel. I originally planned to use these cupcake liners to put the bugs in, but it's taking away from all of the detail that I worked so hard on. And the bugs don't pop nicely on the red. So I'm back to my edible fabric, and as I place it in the heart box, it naturally pleats on the side, making one nice big liner, and now the bugs will pop on the white. I can't believe I made a full chocolate heart box with a cover that actually fits. The bugs look so cool, and this is definitely very anti-Valentine's. Let me tell you, those chocolatiers make it look easy. It is not easy. What I wanted to be a 2-day process took like 5 days, but I learned so much, and the chocolate bonbon bugs look super creepy, but also really beautiful. I can't tell if my husband is just gonna love them or actually be creeped out by them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all my socials. Now it's finally time to give Gil my anti-Valentine's heart box. He knows I'm making something because I keep telling him don't look in my studio, but he has no idea what's inside. I can't wait to see his reaction.
I'm very excited to take this thing off of my face. I smell tons of chocolate. Oh my god, is this so chocolatey?
Happy Valentine's Day!
Whoa, is that whole thing is chocolate, yeah?
The whole thing is made of chocolate.
Crazy.
You have to open it up to see what's inside.
You can open it? Wait, is this? No, this is not real.
It's edible.
Oh my god.
So very gently, yeah, lift it up.
And this is all chocolate.
Happy Valentine's Day!
I did not expect this.
I caught the love bug for you.
Oh my god, no.
Since we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, it's an anti-Valentine's heart box.
Oh, I love it.
So do you think it's like gross or beautiful or both?
It's very cool. It's very well done.
Cool is your favorite thing.
I love it. I love it. It's definitely weird.
You're going straight for the caterpillar?
Yeah, the hungry caterpillar. Did you know in Lion King when they eat the...
Oh, yeah.
The bugs?
Can you guess the flavor?
Strawberry?
It's a strawberry cheesecake.
You can really feel the cheesecake. Now, this is vile.
Where do you want to go from?
It's so gross. Because it's gonna be crunchy too because of chocolate. I love it. It's so gross. My favorite.
What is it?
Dulce de leche.
Do you notice how I made the guts look like the inside of a cockroach?
Gross. Like I really wanted to see what
you kept peeking in my cake studio.
Yeah.
You really wanted to know what was going on.
Alright, I'm going in. Mmm. Dubai chocolate. Oh my god, it's so good.
Mmm.
Wow.
You can't go wrong with Dubai chocolate.
Nope.
Mmm. Happy anti-Valentine's Day.
Anti-Valentine's Day.